Carol. We're here today with a truly impressive and inspirational story of two young men who started their business in the Coachella Valley during a pandemic and operated out of parking lots for the first year. They are both alumni of COD, and with the support of their community and their families, their business has flourished. They are about to realize their dream of having a bricks and mortar store located in Indio at 81730 Highway 11, Suite 14, which is where we're filming today. This all began at an econ class at COD. So let's meet Matt Ortega and Efron Mercado at their new premises.
I have COD to thank for meeting Efron. Without the classes that were offered there in that environment that was created, I would have never been able to make that connection with him. And so I think for me, what I value most about COD, beyond just the educational element to it, is the social and personal element where you're able to make connections with people personally and professionally. You never know who you're going to be sitting in class with, or what professor can maybe answer some questions for you and share some of their wisdom with you.
You're taking classes with your peers that eventually will be professionals. I know a couple guys that I went to COD with who now either two of them have businesses and one of them is trying to start a business. I have a relationship with them due to COD because we took the same classes. And you meet professors that live locally, and a lot of them have businesses, so you're able to get real advice from real people. When we first started the business, I had a lot of questions, and I remember going to Kelly Paul. She was the head of business, I believe, for a little bit at COD, and she was just a great help. So yeah, I have COD to thank for that.
Efron might not be here today without the assistance of his high school career counselor, Glenda Morton.
She would sign you up. She would say, "Hey, pull up your COD account. Let's register you. Let's sign you up for your financial aid. If you get accepted and you want to go, at least you have it all set up." So because of her, honestly, I went to COD. I thought it was too expensive to go to college, but she was like, "No, there's a lot of help. There's a lot of financial aid. It's a junior college, so it's a lot easier to get in and to start, and it's not as intimidating as going to a four-year university right off the bat." So I have her to thank for that, and that's how I was able to attend COD. So yes, COD was a great stepping stone to getting my bachelor's.
It was over a year ago that Matt and Efron got the inspiration to start Everbloom.
Between my passion for coffee and then knowing Efron, and he actually had some experience in coffee as well. We both have worked in coffee shops across the valley and then even beyond. We kind of just came together, and I said, "Hey, would you like to join me in this venture?" And I think the valley would really benefit from a coffee, just an elevation in the coffee culture out here, because there was a lot of room for growth at the time, and there still is, honestly.
I worked at Coffee Bean for a little while. Then I managed a coffee shop in Palm Springs for a little while. And through that time, I just developed a love for coffee. And more importantly, I fell in love with the environment of a coffee shop. You see people daily, you build relationships with them. And through serving people, you can do that with coffee. And I really love that element. So when Matthew had approached me, "Hey, I want to do this," I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm already in the industry, I have experience, and I love what I do."
Everbloom is not just about selling coffee.
We started out in parking lots. We didn't have a coffee shop at first, so we had to create an environment by just being ourselves and just making those connections. And so it does go to show that I think you can do that anywhere. We are both men of this community, of this valley. Truly, without the relationships we build, without the people that have kind of helped us along the way and been there for us to buy our coffee, to show up week in and week out, we wouldn't be where we're at today. There is no Everbloom without people. And I think that's why a saying we've kind of adopted is coffee for the people, because we are members of this community as well.
While Matt and Efron share a passion for coffee, their tastes are very different.
And for me, I tend to lean more towards coffees from those regions, like in Latin America or in South America. They have a nuttier flavor to them, they have a chocolatey flavor, they're a little more full bodied.
Now, I like full-bodied on occasion, like probably with a milk drink, but when I drink black coffee, I like a nice like African coffee, like Ethiopian. It's, you know, really light, kind of tea-like.
Yeah, coffee is actually a more complex food than even like wine is. Like the grape of a wine, there's about, I think, roughly 1,100 flavors you can extract from the grape of wine. But with coffee, I think it's roughly around 1,300 unique flavor profiles. So.
I understand that you have created a Good Morning COD coffee.
Yeah, so the specialty drink that we prepared today is just going to be a slight twist on a classic of ours. It's the house-made butterscotch syrup. We're going to take that and we're going to pull 2 shots of fresh espresso from the machine. We're going to steam some milk up to a perfect temperature and consistency so it's nice and frothy. We're going to mix the espresso with the butterscotch syrup, and then we're going to pour that perfectly textured milk into the cup, and then we're going to just finish it off with a dash of fresh cinnamon. And so the cinnamon and spice is going to complement the caramelized sugar flavor in the butterscotch really nicely, and it's all going to pair really well with the coffee.
Thank you, Matt and Efron, for joining us today and sharing your story with us. It's good to know that the spirit of entrepreneurship is alive and well in the Valley. On behalf of the Foundation, we thank you again. And now, back to you, Carol.